Hi everybody, thank you for watching. Today I am doing this hot pink glam look, kind of like 90s Barbie. I paired with it some crazy hot pink accessories, jewelry, and just my outfit choice, but it was a lot of fun to make. I definitely wouldn't wear this to dinner. I suppose you could, but where I live, I don't know how that would be received. So I did this maybe for like a girls' night out, something fun, even if you are into any sort of like competitive dancing or something like this, and the color scheme works with what you're hoping to wear, then I hope you keep watching. To start off today's look, because I'm super pale, I am going to go in with a go-to favorite of mine to bronze up a little bit when I am fair like I am and I don't feel like doing an all over body spray tan. I use this Clinique Sun-Kissed on the face, and then I'm going to go in with the body blur on the neck. To apply it, I'm going to take just a little squirt of this, and I'm using this like really thick Morphe brush. I got this at Ulta. I will link below. So it is a little bit orangey. I'm just going to apply this all over without really worrying about like the preciseness of it, mostly because I'm going to be coming back in with foundation, and this is really just allowing me to start like a slightly darker base. As you can see, it's a little bit orangey, but that's a big reason why I wear this big head wrap thing, is because I'm super blonde and my hair is porous, so it loves to pick up these colors. So I can push it in because they have dark roots. Just bring it down a little bit, bring it onto the ears slightly. Next, I'm going to go in with the body blur. I have the shade Latte, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to apply a little squirt to the top of this. You don't have to go crazy. Something like that will be fine. And this is like makeup. So if you're going to be wearing like white, we just be a little careful. And I'm just doing this for show. I'm not wearing it anywhere. I'm doing this look. It's just like a fun little tutorial. And then I'm running this across my face so that the two are even. So once I feel like it's pretty even, again, like if this was an actual going out night for me, I might want to wear like a tube top and then make sure that it's kind of pressed all over the top of my skin. But because this is just kind of giving you an idea of what the product's going to do, I think it's just a good place to start. So I already did a brow video in one of my other earlier tutorials, so I'm not going to do that part on camera. I'm going to go off camera, fill in my brows, and then I'll come right back to continue this look. So now that my brows are popped on and I'm looking all kinds of crazy, I am going to go in and prime the eye so that all the colors that I'm going to be layering on top are going to stick super well. So for this step, I'm going to use the soft ochre shade in the Pro Longwear Paint Pot by MAC. This is definitely, especially for like heavy eyeshadow looks, is a must. I pretty much I'm always using some sort of base, even if the color scheme is pretty neutral. Like even if I'm literally using one shade in my crease, I still do it because I'm getting old. So my eyes have like some discoloration. I have freckles and stuff like that. So I just like a blank canvas. I think it just looks cleaner and nicer and all that good stuff. could almost do this in my sleep. I'm using a pretty thick brush for this stage. This is a brush that I have to clean pretty frequently because this is a heavy product. So if I ever needed to use this on something else, it's thick. So this is the Pro Airbrush Concealer. I just like how thick it is, and it's just kind of a little bit fluffy on the end. And this is by Sephora. It's the number 57. The next step is going to be to set that stage. So I am going to use this Shape Tape setting powder by Tarte. I'm going to use that same brush. Just pick up a little bit, whatever's left on the mirror. I don't need to use a lot here, and I'm not really trying to bake. I'm literally just trying to ensure that this is like a flat canvas and there's no texture, and it's smooth and ready for some color. For this next step, I'm going to start popping in some shadows into the creases and then just along the eyes to create that really popping pink color, almost like a Barbie pink. So I'm going to use this Kylie times Balmain. This is the shade Main Event. And I'm going to be working that into my crease. It's kind of just like a sand color. I've watched YouTube videos for years, and sometimes I'm like, I just don't have the money to buy all these palettes. I can't keep up. It's like, what's a doable color for that section? And really, this is like just a perfect, because now you can see my eyes kind of brought forward a little bit. I'm going to keep working this in, just adding a little bit more color. I definitely don't need to go crazy with this step. I'm just trying to kind of build and have like a nice base shade. Like it. Okay. So now that I have that down, I'm going to start building upwards. And I do kind of want to start working in this palette here. Just kind of taking a look at some of these shades. I'm going to use one more in this palette. This is called, I'm going to use the shade here called Top Model. This is sort of like, it's like a mauve, I don't know. It's a soft mauve-y tone. And I like it because it's going to be something buildable. It's not like a shock yet. It's not a shock shadow yet. And I'm not really ready to do that. So I'm using a slightly thicker brush for this step. I'm kind of running this over, working this closer to my nose. And as you can see, the tone is starting to come out, which is good. I want to see that warmth and that pinkiness. So we're going to keep building this. And this has more surface area. Like, this brush is big, so it's definitely covering more ground. But that's the point, because I'm just kind of starting to enhance what's there little by little. I don't want to do it all at once, or I'm going to be looking crazy and can't go backwards. So far so good. Next, I'm going to go in, I think with this color here. I don't have the name of it. This is the Morphe 395, such a gem palette. So I'm just going to tap it, and I'm using this Morphe M573. It's somewhat similar to that last brush I used, I guess the first one. So now I'm real, like, this is a lot. Like, that's pink, no doubt. But I want this like Barbie look. And this is just for fun. I mean, I don't see myself wearing this out to dinner, but maybe for a girls' night or like 90s night, I can see myself maybe doing it. But it's just fun to learn. It's fun to play with a bunch of colors and kind of see what works for you. So It's definitely incorporating more of that pink, but it's blown out. So it's not super heavy. It's not super concentrated yet. Like this is still totally wearable. We're going to keep going and it's going to keep getting more and more fun. Next, I'm going to use this shade right here. So the last step was this color. I'm now going to go in with this one. It's just slightly deeper. I'm going to use this. It came with an Urban Decay palette, which I don't show as much love to. I definitely wanted to do something with it. It was the cherry, I think it was the cherry palette. But this, I want to be a little bit more careful. That one's really dark. So I'm going to use a little bit more of a precise brush. Like I wouldn't call this is still somewhat fluffy, but I have a little bit more control over it. So you can see that I'm keeping it pretty tight. It's not going all over. And it does matter. The brushes that you use do matter. One of these days when I take my nails off, I think I will become a master of the finger painting on the eyes. But for right now, long nails are life and I'm not ready to give them up. So this is what we're doing. So because there's a lot happening up top, I want to bring some of that down, but I'm not quite ready to commit to that last shade. So I'm going to go to this one here, which is kind of an in-between. So it's like a shimmery for that shade I used in the Kylie palette, but I'm not really thinking that's enough pigment. So I am going to go in with the shade I used right before that really heavy one, and I'm using the other end of the brush. So this end is really stiff, which is great for this sort of thing because it's keeping me in complete control of where that color goes. So I'm just gonna clean up a little bit of that. I want this to be a little bit more diffused like the other side. Good. Next, I'm going to go in with another thin brush. I'm going to use this cranberry shade here. It's just like a cranberry matte. I'm picking this up on my M321 brush, and I'm keeping it really close to the corner of my eye and up until my crease. I don't want to go too much further in. Just want to keep it pretty tight there. Tip it in and start working the other side. The one thing I do think I'm missing out on by not being able to use my fingers to press colors are some of these shimmers that have started coming out by all these beautiful brands. It's really hard with brushes. I mean, it's doable. There's something about like the warmth though of the human touch. And the fact that it's like, it's not damp, but we all have like oils and moisture in our skin, and it's really hard to achieve that. So I'm gonna have to clean this up a little. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this shade here. It's like really hard to see. I'm gonna go in with that shade there. It's kind of an icy, cooler toned pink. I'm really gonna get the brush in there, and I'm going to kind of starting at the corner of my eye and bringing it out. This does not do it justice for how pretty it sparkles. There's like blue specks in it. So it's definitely cooler tone, but I think it works because it's kind of like purpley, bluey. Got the whole thing going on. I'm also going to bring that down. So I'm going to just, even though this is like really messy or just kind of everywhere, it's just a good way to ensure that I'm getting the coverage down there that I need. So, okay, good. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of this purpley tone here. It kind of reminds me of like Barney. Best way to describe that color is to tell you the name is a Barney purple. I'm keeping this again with like a super tight little tiny brush. Use this just a second ago. I'm going to pick it back up, and because I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper, it's okay. I'm then going to come back into the Kylie palette and use this PFW, which means Paris Fashion Week. I'm going to pick it up with that same brush and layer it on top. So this color, I don't know, not really what I was thinking it was going to do. This is more of a shimmer. I think it would look better over something sheer, but it's okay. I'm going to keep working with it. All right. Okay. Then I'm going to go in, because I think this is my intended color. I'm going to go in with this purple shade here. It's almost like it's doing the same thing. So this must just be shimmery purples. Okay, that's fine. All right. That works. I'm going to go back in with this kind of hot pink and bring more of it down here so I can continue incorporating that shade. Now I'm going to use this shade here and kind of go over the line. If you can see, I just kind of want to soften it a little bit. It's a little harsh next to all the mauves and pinks and purples. So I'm going to run over that with a brush. So this shade actually has like a ton of pigment. I was not expecting it because there's a little bit of shimmer in it. Well, it works. I didn't plan to wear this pink shirt. This was kind of a fluke, but it works because I think if I was wearing any other color, these eyes would look crazy right now. Okay, so I think that's that on the shadows, but I am going to pop in and layer a few other shimmers on top of this. And this is one of those times where I wish that maybe I didn't have the nails, and dare I say it, but this is one of those times because I'm going to be using this Tom Ford Cream and Powder Eye Color. This is like, it's like one of the shades I popped on earlier. It's like Top Model, but a shimmer, and it's creamy. So I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to spray it first, and then I'm going to apply that kind of in the crease. So hang tight. So the first step, I'm going to take this Iconic because it is a shimmer, whatever. And then I'm going to use this brush here. This is the MAC 248. I have been missing this brush. It literally just popped its face, and I haven't. So in the top, it's like a shimmer, and it's supposed to be a powder, but thank God it's not loose because I would have just spilled that all over the place. So I'm just going to gather, and I'm using that same brush because these are sort of a pair. They come on top of each other, and I'm just going to dab this in that crease, and it's beautiful. a nice shimmer. I mean, honestly, it's perfect. Like there's so many looks I'm thinking of that I could use this with. Dose of Colors has one too, but this color is really special because it could be, you could call it rose gold, you could call it like, you know, rosé, so many things. But it's super pretty. I think I like the way it looks. It kind of blends everything together. The colors look really nice. So while my lash glue is setting, I am going to get started on my face makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and spray. So I wasn't sure how greasy my face was going to look, so I grabbed a couple different shades that I'm just going to mix together. I am notorious for doing this, partly because I just can't decide. Half the time I'm like, okay, I like the effect of this one, and I'm going to explain what I'm about to do here. So I just primed with some spray. It's hard to use a lot of skincare products before that Clinique stuff. I mean, I just don't, because I think it's going to leave everything a little mushy and it's not going to hold as well as I want it to. So I'm going to use a couple different colors here. So I'm going to use the Touche Clay. This is by YSL. Just going to do like one squirt of that. Then I'm going to take Huda Beauty's in the shade Baklava. This is the Faux Filter. This is probably my favorite foundation. Then I'm going to use the Power Fabric by Giorgio Armani, and this is shade 6.5. This I bought a little bit too dark, so I'm not going to use a whole lot of it, but it's super, super matte. So as you can see, I'm just using this little disc. This came on top of like a, I don't know if it was like a makeup remover thing or like an eye cream. So I'm just using this. You can rinse these out, throw them in the dishwasher, apply a little alcohol on top of them, and they're good as new. And they're great for little trays. They hold everything in because they have the little rims. It's just super nice. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the colors together and then apply. So okay, I went ahead and just mixed it in because sometimes it takes me forever, and I just wanted to make sure it was even. So now I'm going to use this Damp Beauty blender. This beauty blender is by Real Techniques. I think every time I go to Ulta, I just buy more because they're really great, and like I'm lazy, and half the time I don't really feel like actually cleaning them, which would be so much more efficient because I have like a farm of beauty blenders at this point, but that's okay. It's okay. Then I always have some, and like if I'm in a pinch, I can just wash them. It's just so much more convenient. So I'm not too concerned yet with like cleaning that stuff up along the lines here because I haven't gone in with my concealer yet. So once I have this kind of looking the way that I want it to, which this is pretty even, I'm happy with it. It's matching. Everything looks great. Now I'm going to set this. Give it a second or two to dry. But then I'm going to be going in with my concealer. I'm a huge fan of the Kylie Jenner concealer. I bought it on a whim because I was like, oh, I'm curious. I wasn't crazy about the lip kits because mine always seem to bust. I don't know if it's just because of where I live or what, but I was just kind of frustrated. I was like, I don't understand. Like, what's the deal? This isn't about that. I never give up because I'm like, honestly, when I was using Tarte a few years ago and Shape Tape hadn't come out yet, it was like, I just feel like no one even talked about that brand. So it's like they did something completely revolutionary. They came out with this amazing concealer, and like my opinion and anyone's opinion can completely change like overnight. So I just tried it. I just literally grabbed it and I was obsessed. It's creamier than like anything I use, but it also like holds really well. So just a quick blurb on that. And I'm not sponsored by anybody. So I'm literally trying these things out as I go through this thing we call life and seeing what works and what doesn't. So I'm a big fan. So now I'm just going in, pressing in that color. everywhere that I have applied it. I really apply it anywhere where I feel like there's highlights or there could be highlights. Chin, the nose. I'm not good at nose contouring. I want to learn. I want to get better at it, but every time I do it, I feel like I have mud on my nose, so I just stopped. Just don't bother with it anymore. Okay, so once that's all worked in, and I feel like it looks pretty good, it's pretty even, I'm happy. It doesn't look like too drastic of a difference between my highlight and my regular skin, so I'm happy with that. Next up, I'm going to move on to pressing that in with some setting powder. So I am going to use the same thing I used to set my eyes. It just needs to be shaked around a little bit. So this is the Shape Tape. I'm going to use that exact same beauty blender. I'm bringing that up. Same thing goes on this side. Go in the little creases and up here. I think I'm like maybe moisturizing too much during the day. I've been like super greasy lately, but this is all doing an amazing job containing that, which is nice. Okay, next step is going to be to start bronzing. I'm going to keep an eye on that glue. I've mentioned this in one of my other videos. I like that to be super tacky. I don't really love it when it doesn't stick, and I want it to just stick and not have to keep going over and over again. I just want to put it in its right place and be done with it. So I do let that sit for quite a while, like maybe even 10 minutes. So I'm keeping my eye on it, and when it's ready, I'm going to go back over there and pop on the lashes. For bronzing and contouring, I'm going to use my Old Faithful Give Me Sun by MAC. This brush has been my lifesaver. I actually have it in 2 different brands, and I just, again, I'm lazy. So like if one of them starts failing me, I know, or like if it needs washed, like these do take forever to dry when I do wash them because I'm not that gross. I do wash my brushes. If I can have 2 of them, even better, because then don't have to stress that I'm ever without. It's pretty bronze. I'm pretty happy with that. Next up, I'm going to go in with my blush. I've been in love with this Glowing in Grease by BH Cosmetics. I like it because it's super pigmented and like it's big. So like this is a big palette. I don't know if it still exists out there. If it does, I'm coming for you because I love it and I wouldn't mind having a couple extra hanging around. I'm going to use the shade Peros, which is kind of peachy. It's just this one in the middle here. But like I said, it's super pigmented and it'll work. So I'm using a Sephora Precision Powder brush. I've been using like a total amateur, this like really skinny one, and it was taking so much time to apply my blush, or it just like was not the color I was hoping that it would be. Now this is a lot. This is a lot of blush, but again, I'm kind of going for this like Barbie thing and I'm fine with it. I'm still not quite ready. This glue is just not budging. So I'm going to use this brush. I got this at a craft store, so I really can't speak to like what kind it is, but I use this for like shimmers, glitters, because it just, I don't know, like it works. Like I don't feel that you need an expensive brush for that. I do think it helps to have a brush, especially if you are wearing your nails the length that I do. But moving on, I'm going to spray this. And then I decided I'm going to add a little bit more to this look. I'm going to use City of Love, which is this green shade here. Don't ask where the inspiration came from. I just thought it would be kind of fun, especially because I'm like just sitting here. So I'm bringing that really just down here. I feel like a watermelon right now. All good. All good. We're just having fun. I'm about to be quarantined again. So it's fun. I mean, like, honestly, from far away, it just kind of looks like highlight, but I think it's fun. It just adds a little bit of pop. Okay, so I'm finally at a place where I can apply these lashes, which is just so exciting. I'm going to be using, these are the Juliet lashes by House of Lashes. I want to make sure I've already trimmed them and everything. I am a huge fan, which I talked about this in my like competitive dance, like stage makeup video. I'm a big fan of trimming the lashes. I am not super crazy about having them run from like here all the way over. It's just not my jam. So as you can see, I'm literally working these into place, but they're holding. And sometimes they like to hold onto the actual lash, but I want them to sit on the bed. Sit on the bed. Okay, I'm gonna be applying the second lash here. Start it kind of in the middle. I honestly probably could have trimmed this one a little bit more. All good. So I just want to make sure it's sitting. It's like I'm talking to a toddler. Like, sit on the bed, stay still. Okay. Okay. Now those are going to need to sit, and I cannot wipe away the bottom bake yet, but what I can do is apply my mascara. This is the Iconic London. I got this for free with, I ordered their liquid highlight and then that spray bottle, and then it was a part of this like package, so I got this free mascara. I don't ever use this on my top lashes because my lashes at this point in my life are just crazy. They have a mind of their own, and some of them are going all over the place, and this just isn't the best fit for the top. But the bottom is pretty. These are settled, but it allows me to stay really close. I don't know if you can see that, but it's so nice. I love how it does that. Like some mascaras are not good for I have long bottom lashes, but not only that, like they also kind of have like their own mind and they just do whatever they want. It's tough with some mascaras that have like a fluffy end, which is like for my top lashes, I prefer to use something like this. I could never use this on my bottom lashes. I would have a whole mess on my under eye, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to be mixing two colors. I'm going to stay with my pink theme also because this is such cute packaging. Like, I want to be this when I grow up, or if I was a cartoon. Like, she has pink hair and she's just great. So it's this like pink shade. It's just like a pink shimmer. I am going to use this to highlight a little bit. This is the shade Tickle, and it is by Benefit. It doesn't, like, as you can see, it doesn't really show up pink, which is kind of nice. Kind of nice for me. All right, so I'm extending that into the eye line a little, like the brow line a little bit. Add a little to my nose, top of my lips. Next, I'm going to go in with the old trusty Wet n Wild. I said this before, I'll say it again. I will buy this till the day I die if I see it at the store. It works everywhere. I can put it on my body if I wanted to like highlight my chest or my collarbones, which I might just do. It's in such like an easy, tough, whatever like some highlights are stiff and they're good quality. Like I love the Dior one, but like it would be a lot of work to take that highlight and try and like put it on my body. So it is nice to have that, and it's so inexpensive. Like I was on the website last night and it was like $4, which is just crazy. Okay, now I'm going to prime my top lashes while I still have my bake cooking under my eye. What I like a lot about this Tarte stuff is that it kind of like melts into your makeup. So like I have used a handful of other powders. I am kind of picky because I feel like my skin is hormonal, and not just hormonal, but it's moody. So sometimes it's greasy, sometimes it's super dry. So I don't like a super drying one, but this one's fun because it's like kind of melts in. Now I'm still going to have to wipe it away, but so for these two steps, I used the L'Oreal Luminous Primer. It's amazing. Used it for years. And then this is I think, because I am at Sephora and Ulta like 3 to 4 times a month. And that is not including me going online. So like I hadn't seen this one before, and this is, I think this is called Damn Girl. It's great. It's great with the lashes. I think it's just amazing with the lashes. Blends everything together. I'm going to let that sit for like 2 more minutes because I just have PTSD about my lashes transferring. So I'm going to go ahead. I have an itch. I'm going to go in with my lip stuff while that's kind of doing its thing. So this is a Milani. Give me a second. I'm just going to get this all filled, or I should say outlined. I need to hit the gem. I'm feeling guilty every day that I don't. I actually, like, this looks just like the YSL color. I'm going to put all over my lips in a minute, but super pretty. All right, so this is Milani Color Statement Lip Liner called Pretty Pink. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Hot Gossip. Also kind of sheer. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my very own, I can't think of the word right now, engraved. You can do this on their website. I did this for a bunch of friends at one point. It was so fun. I just ordered all of my favorite colors. Now, this is the shade 11. I have 4 of these. I'm about to do the same with one of my Tom Ford favorites. I just have this fear that like they're going to get rid of it and it would break my heart. Okay, last, I'm going to go in with this matte gloss. This was a part of a limited edition thing, but it's got a little bit of the elements I have in my eye. So I just want to kind of bring it all together. Okay, now I am ready to wipe this away, all that under eye, and I'm going to go in with my MAC. I will link it. Well, no, because I have to shake this a little bit. This is the Studio Fix Perfecting Powder. This truly is the perfecting powder. I don't know. Like it's been sitting in my like beauty area forever, and I just decided to bring it out for Halloween a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes my skin look so good. I love it. So now I just tote it around everywhere, and it's just a part of my signature topping. So this is the final result. I have wanted a reason to wear this for Love and Lemon's top that I got through Victoria's Secret for almost a year. So this pink, like skipper 90s Barbie thing was just, I'm all about it with the big earrings and everything. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Have a good day. Bye.